welcome to Week in Review. This is a video where we talk about all the videos we did last week, give you a short summary of them. If you want to know more about each video, all you gotta do is click the links. Ready? Here we go.
Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. So here's what I reviewed last week. I did, together with the fellas, a review for Forbidden Sky. I rate this a 4 out of 10. It's by far my least favorite of the Forbidden series. I found to be really fiddly, very unattractive. Doesn't give you a particularly engaging play experience while you're playing, and it just really did not captivate me whatsoever. I reviewed Hanging Gardens. This is a little bit of an older game in which you are playing tiles out in front of you to build up your gardens and score sets and therefore victory points. I rate this a 7 out of 10. It's a game that really holds up well, and it's a really engaging, interesting, colorful game. Definitely recommend it. I reviewed BURDIGALA. This is a Bruno Cathala game, one that's a lesser-known game. I also rate this a 7 out of 10, and it's a pretty straightforward game in which it's a roll and move. You roll, move around, and build up the city as you are going, trying to get victory points. But even though it is a roll and move in part, it's a very engaging game. I reviewed the expansion to The Lost Expedition, The Fountain of Youth, and Other Adventures, and this one is really neat. I rate this a 7 out of 10, and it gives you new modules to add to your original game, and it's fantastical, it's colorful, interactive, very engaging. It is, however, the card backs don't match in color, which is a big problem for me, and they're also slightly bigger than the original game, which is also a problem for shuffling and all that, which is why I didn't get a higher score, honestly. And then lastly, I reviewed an expansion, a standalone expansion to Arkham Horror, the card game. This one is Carnival of Horrors, and in it you are going to travel to Venice and, try to quelch some beasties that are, coming out of the river and taking revelers and so forth. I rate this an 8 out of 10. It's really neat, very cinematic. I really like that about it, and it's just a fantastic scenario in and of itself, really. So that's basically it for me. Thanks for checking this out. I'll see you on the next one.
Hey folks, welcome back to another week in review. I did 4 reviews for you this week, and then also one with the other guys, Miami Dice. So let's go ahead and start with mine. First of all, I did Broadhorns, early trade on the Mississippi. I gave this one a 5 out of 10 because it didn't do anything new. It was an okay game, nothing really necessarily wrong with it, nothing necessarily good with it, just right there in the middle of the road, so I gave that one a 5 out of 10. Also did Discovery, the Era of Voyage. Gave this one a 6 out of 10 because I liked the compact nature of it, but felt like there was a big game there as well. So this is from Emperor S4 Games, and so you can take a look at that one as well, a 6 out of 10. I did enjoy that one. Also did one for Space Marine Adventures, Labyrinth of the Necrons. And this one I gave a 7 out of 10 because for what it is, which is a game that's targeted really at families, possibly even kids, to get them into the Warhammer 40K hobby, I think it's a great step forward. It's not boring. It has great miniatures in it. There's a lot of good things going for it. It is a very simplistic game. So if you're looking for a big, heavy solo-ish, or maybe you and a couple other guys going into this labyrinth, not really gonna cut it for you. But this is a great, simple game, and I did enjoy having it played a lot. So 7 out of 10 for me there. Also did one for another Emperor S4 game called Realm of Sand, and this one I liked a little bit better than Discovery. I enjoyed it. It has a little bit more of a common roots feel to it, something that people are going to be able to grab a hold of, I think. So I did enjoy it a lot, gave it a seal of approval, a 7 out of 10 as well. So those are the reviews that I did by myself. I also did a top 5 sports games because they're not really sports games. They're kind of fantasy sports games, but they're sports games. They simulate some kind of a sport at some level, and so you can go take a look at that and see if you agree or disagree. And then finally, the guys and I did a Miami Dice for Forbidden Sky, The Height of Danger. And generally speaking, I'm going to give it about a 6 or 7 out of 10 because I did enjoy it. It's my second favorite of the series. I like Forbidden Island better, I think, but I like the more simplistic side of these cooperative games. And I think that this is probably about the mid-weight. I think that Forbidden Desert is probably the most difficult out of the three, with Forbidden Island being the easiest. And then this one will fall right in between. That's why it kind of fell middle of the road for me there. But 6 or 7 out of 10 for Forbidden Sky from me. That's it. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
All right, for me, first of all, we have Long Cow. This is a game about tipping cows or building a long cow. It's for kids, but it's just too lucky, and I don't think kids will enjoy it much, or I know kids don't enjoy it much, because some kids won't get the long cows. It's just, there's just too much luck. Forbidden Skies. We did a Miami Dice on this one. The sequel to Forbidden Desert and Forbidden Island. It just wasn't as good as those for me. It doesn't look that great. It's too linear, and I thought it was too hard. I just didn't enjoy it that much. And then we have Pank. Pank is a little roll and write style game. It's decent, it's good. The component quality is not very good, and it's really fast. So if you want a really short one and you're interacting with other players, you'll like that. Pent Up, this is a game with 5-piece, 5-tile domino type things. So you're trying to have yours on the top. It's a little short 2-player abstract strategy game. It's pretty interesting. Mercado. This is a game I like the look of it, I like the feel of it, but the game itself isn't that exciting, and it's basically a slow auction style game where you are putting coins that you're pulling from a bag, but there's a lot of luck involved. It's nice. Horizons. This actually feels like the next game in the Valeria series. It's a space game in which you're putting out guys in different planets over the board. Someone told me it felt like a short Terra Mystica. That's really, I think, overstating it some. I think it's much easier and simpler than that, but I liked it. The Very Hungry Caterpillar, not very good quality, but the artwork's fantastic, and it's a little game that teaches preschoolers and stuff letters, and so for that, I enjoyed it. Spell Smashers. This is a game about making words. I like making words, and it uses a fantasy role-playing theme to that, going through a dungeon. I like the idea, the combo. It's a lot of fun. I don't know how many people will enjoy the combo, though. Spring Meadow, this is the third in the tile laying series. So if you like the first two, you'll like this one. It's a little bit halfway between the first two, but if you want a Tetris, it feels like super slow Tetris, but I enjoyed it. Illusion. Illusion is a little game about color, putting colors in order. It's kind of like Timeline, but colors. I was very surprised how much I enjoyed this one. You turn over 2 cards and you say, does this have more red than the last one? It sounds like a weird, that's too easy, but it's that good of a little game. The MacGyver Escape Room game. This game is super fun. I don't have any attraction to MacGyver at all, really, but this is an escape room in a box. 5 different escape rooms in the same box. Really cool. Galactic Empire Enterprises. This is a redone version of Fantasy Business, but with a Star Trek theme. It's an evil, evil little game, but I like it a lot. And then finally, King of Tokyo Anubis. This is the new monster expansion for King of Tokyo. This adds a new, big monster Anubis, but he adds these curse cards. You turn over a curse card, you roll an extra die. Sometimes you get cursed, sometimes you don't, but you can re-roll the die or not. This is something I would almost always want to add to a King of Tokyo game. Fantastic. Check it out. And that's what we have for a week in review. Until next time, I'm Tom Bassel. Thanks so much for watching.